Hello there kids, today we are going to talk about area. Okay, so ano nga bang area? In basic terms for your level, no? We can say that area refers to the space taken or occupied by a flat oops, by a flat shape, or we can also say parang surface of an object. Okay. So this is a pinaka basic nating term that we can describe area in your case. Okay, so bakit nga ba sinabi dito space taken or occupied by a flat shape? Because area can only be considered by parang surface ba? We can also consider this as surface. Like for example, yung floor, yan, yung wall. Two-dimensional lang tayo, two dimensions. Okay, so basically area has something to deal with two dimensions only. Okay? Kasi it's like occupying a space, pero nga if it's three-dimensional like yung notebook ninyo, pencil, cell phones, tablets, computers ninyo, you yourself, you're also taking up space. So that's basically volume, no? I think you already learned that in your science, no? Anything that takes up space is basically having volume, no? May volume tayo. But this has only something to deal with two dimensions. Parang surface lang. Yung floor ninyo, yung wall ninyo. So these are examples of two-dimensional figures where we can consider the area. Okay. So paano nga ba mini-measure yung area? Areas are basically measured, sorry, by square units, no? Yan ang base natin. They are measured through or using square units. Yes, teacher Mark, do you mean square as in the shape square? Yes, I'm really talking about the square shape. Kasi yan talaga yung basic unit natin. Okay? So, square units yan. Bakit unit? Because we do not have the exact unit to be used. For example, sa measurement nga. Kasi sa measurement, we have inches, we have centimeters, we have meters, we have kilometers. So, pag walang unit, we call it a square unit. No? Here comes the other units. For example, if no unit, the term is just square unit. Pero if may unit na, with unit, depending on the situation or depending on the given example, so if we use centimeters, this will now become unit or square centimeter, sorry. This will now become square centimeters or just square centimeter. If we used inch, this will now become square inch. If we used meter, this will now become square meter. Okay, so depende yan. If there are no units involved, by simply may drawing lang, tapos walang any other given unit, so square unit lang tinatawag natin dyan. So which means if we have a certain figure that looks like this, okay, we can now say, I know it is not perfectly drawn, pero we can now say that this unit here is equivalent to 3 square units. Okay? So that's how you basically measure by in terms of area. So if we have a bigger figure, depende kasi yan sa pagdraw eh. It depends on how you draw the figure. Tulad nito, erase ko lang yun. I'll just erase this certain part over here. With a given figure now, by counting the number of squares inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can now say that this figure has 6 square units. Okay. Now, you can also experience situations that this square can be in terms of parang hinahaf siya, hinahati, which basically forms two triangles. No, this is still equivalent to 1 square unit. Okay? So, ganun lang yan siya. It is still equivalent to 1 square unit. So, ibig sabihin, if you have a figure that looks like this, okay? So, as you can see, we have 2 square units over here. That's very obvious. Okay? So, 2 square units na yan. You have 1, you have 2. And you have 2 triangles here that if you're going to form them or put them together, they will form 1 square unit, just like this one. 1, 2. 2 triangles, in this case, right-angled triangles, form 1 square unit. So, ibig sabihin, since these 2 can make 1 square unit, so we have a total of 3 square units for this unit, for this figure rather. Okay? So, ganun lang yan. Technically, parang kino-combine natin. So, we can say that if we have a right angle triangle here, then we have, let's say, another one, then another one over here, then another one over there. Always remember that 2 makes 1. Okay? I'm referring to triangle. Okay? Triangle. So, ibig sabihin, ito can represent 1 square unit and this another one, another pair can make 1 square unit as well. So, which means this figure is made entirely by 2 square units. Okay? So, yun yung basic ng area. That's basically the introduction to area.